Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, and I know that some of you guys are new here, welcome, and I'm so glad to have you. And if this is your first time, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I have a really cool video coming on Saturday. I finally got something that I ordered that I'm have been waiting for a really long time, close to a month, and it finally arrived, and I'm going to unbox it on Saturday, so tune in for that. But today, well, before I get into today's topic, I want to share my bag of the day, which is my gorgeous Louis Vuitton Georges MM, and I bought this almost 3 years ago, and I bought it from another YouTuber, M Style Magdalena, not to be confused with Dial M Style, and I just adore this bag, and it's an awesome work bag. It's got the velvet trim. It has this magnificent magnetic clasp. It's got a bunch of compartments inside, 2 big compartments and a zip pocket. It's just awesome, and it's a great bag for work because it holds a ton. But let me get into the topic of the video, and that's going to be about judging other people's luxury, judging what other people do with their money, what people decide to buy or not to buy. I was tagged to do this video by James from James Jam, and this was all started by a comment that someone left on Caleb Snell's video where he talked about his Birkin. And someone said that he lives in a small apartment and he shouldn't be buying a Birkin. And, you know, when I hear comments like that, it just drives me insane on so many levels, because first of all, you should never assume. Never assume, because it makes an ass out of both you and me. There's so many layers to unpack with a comment like that, because first of all, you don't know what someone's situation is, number one. Number two, I really don't understand why some people have such an obsession and this conception of apartment living. I mean, I really don't know what's wrong with people living in an apartment. Not everyone wants to own a house. Not everyone wants the responsibility of home ownership. Not everyone wants to put their money into something that may or may not appreciate. And believe it or not, guys, you could buy a house and a couple of years from now, it could be totally worthless. Either the neighborhood changes or the real estate market falls. There's a lot of things that can happen that would cause you to lose investment dollars. And you go to Europe, I mean, everybody lives in apartments in Europe. Everybody. My friends that live in Warsaw, they all live in apartments. Some of them have money. Some of them have big apartments. My friend Marie has a nice-sized apartment for her. She doesn't want anything that's bigger. She doesn't need anything that's bigger. The whole concept of going out and buying this big McMansion, if you're successful, is like a totally American thing. Because if you go to Europe, or if you go to France, that everyone's so obsessed with, they live in apartments. It's very rare that you're going to go to a city especially, or even the immediate suburbs, and see people living in a house. Some people do own small little cottages in villages, which are really just suburbs, and they're tiny houses, and that's where they go to get away from things or to escape. But guys, they're like the size of a Home Depot shed, basically, most of them. It's not like a big giant house. You know, it's a totally American concept that you have to have a house, and that you judge how well you're doing by the size of your house. And that could not be further from the truth. I've known a lot of people who've bought big houses that they can't afford to furnish, that they are in complete hock for because they think that it's going to be a huge investment that might not pan out to be an investment. They might not get any more than what they paid for it, or be lucky to break even, and really have to scrimp on everything. For what? For what? You're taking a chance. And that's just the way it is. Secondly, to judge what somebody's circumstances are, what they can or cannot afford, or, what their position in life is, how would you know? How would you really know? Things like that just drive me crazy. And I'll give you an example. I've had at least I'm going to say it was probably at least 3 of my neighbors who acted like shocked when they found out that I went to college. One said, "You went to college? Well, how the hell do you think I got a professional job?" I mean, and it's not to put down somebody who works a non-professional job, because I've known many, many people. In fact, I worked with a guy who was a waiter. He was a waiter in a very high-end steak restaurant. I'm not going to say the name of it, but he worked there for 25 years. It was his side hustle. And he said no matter what happened, he would never get rid of that job because that job paid a ton of money. There are people who work non-professional jobs that make a ton of money, or they might be professional in something else that's not in an office setting. You could be a plumber and make a ton of money. And, sometimes people look down at somebody who's a plumber or a baker, or, it's someone who does cement work. They're legitimate professions which earn a living, and a lot of times a good living, and they're doing far better than a lot of people who are sitting in an office somewhere. So don't judge by where someone lives or what someone's occupation is, or, in the reverse, like in my situation, what would give you the idea, knowing what I do, that, that I'm in a particular position or situation? Why would you be shocked to learn that someone's educated? Do I not present myself as being educated? Do you not see me go on trips? Usually if you talk to somebody, you can tell whether they're intelligent or not, or whether they're educated or not. And it just completely blew my mind. What would give you that idea? And, sometimes I have to pause and I have to remember that a lot of times when people say things like that, or if they pass judgment, they're really kind of bringing out what their own insecurities are. It's just like, if I get a new bag, or if I have this bag, okay, maybe deep down inside, you might be jealous of this bag. And instead of saying that, it's not for me, or I don't want to buy Louis Vuitton, or, it's not a style that I care for, all of which would be legitimate complaints, or, reasons. They'll say, I don't like that, or, I'm not going to do that, or where'd you get it from? Assuming that you didn't get it from Louis Vuitton. And, the attitude is such that their choice is superior, or that they think that, you've made a mistake doing what it is that you're doing. And it blows my mind. And I know that people make these judgments all the time, either way, either trying to demean someone, or not realizing that someone has, I don't even want to say more than you, or that someone's in a particular place and you're not there, and maybe it just bothers you that someone else is. Out of some jealousy, some really weird kind of jealousy. I don't know. I do know when I went to buy my first Cadillac, I went by myself just to look. I just wanted to browse and see the inventory, because I had seen a deal on TV, and it was right after The Sopranos ended. And we all know how The Sopranos ended. And that Cadillac commercial was kind of like, it was on HBO, and it was just one of these, or no, it wasn't on HBO either. It wasn't, one of those little tags that they put in. It was on TV after I saw the show. And I said, geez, I said, that's a really good deal. I said, I'm going to go and see, what the deal is, because maybe I'll go get a Cadillac. And I got dressed, shorts and a tank top, nice ones, linen, I took my Louis Vuitton bag. I wasn't anything, so fancy or so dressed up. And I thought, they're not even going to talk to me. They're not even going to pay any attention to me. And I went in, and they were nice as pie. I mean, they were just, they treated me like I was queen. Never once said, oh, well, she's a young girl. And I think I was like 40 at the time. Not that that's a young girl, but, probably younger than the typical female customer who goes into Cadillac and they're by themselves and they're looking at a Cadillac. And I was so impressed, and I told them afterwards, I said, I really want to thank you so much for making me feel comfortable, because I didn't expect that someone, was going to treat me like an actual customer. I really just assumed that, you would think that I was just somebody rolling in off the streets who was going to be wasting somebody's time. And the salesperson said, we have learned never to do that, because we have many, many customers, and we never know who's walking through that door, who's a buyer and who's not a buyer, because they said that some of their biggest customers come in jeans and a t-shirt and don't look like they would be the type to buy, and that they know that they're making a big mistake if they don't treat everyone like they would have the ability to buy. But let me get back to the whole, apartment issue. What difference does it make if someone lives in a place that this person deems as being, not appropriate if you're into luxury? I mean, if I buy this bag, and if I choose to spend however much this bag was, that's my business. That's my business. I could put that money in CDs. I could put that money toward another car. I could put that money toward a piece of furniture for the house. But I chose to buy the handbag, and that's my business. If I went out and bought, I always say I'm going to get a new sofa. If I went out and bought a new sofa for $2,000, which is not something that I need, but something that I would want, everybody would say, oh, well, that's really nice you bought that sofa. But you buy a bag and it's like, oh my God, how in the hell did you spend that kind of money? You're going to spend that kind of money? Who are you that you could? Please stop. You're just showing your colors. You're just upset that you're not doing what someone else is doing. And that's usually the root of that particular feeling. Hey, Tigers. Everybody's wondering where Tiger's been. He's having a little fun, active night. But yeah, I mean, what difference is it? It's not like anybody came on. Come on, sweetheart. It's not like anybody, if I came on here and if I said, well, I have a GoFundMe, drop some money in so I could buy another handbag, you'd look at me like I was crazy. I bought this with my own money. So what do you care what I bought with it? What do you care? And, I really feel sorry that Caleb would have to be subjected to those kind of comments, because I know how proud he was to get that Birkin. I know how much it meant to him. Or is it a Kelly? I think it's Kelly. Now I'm just so flustered, I'm not really sure. I can't remember, because he did want both. And I'm picturing the bag, and Anyway, this is what happens when I get on a rant about something. But when somebody's so proud to have something and so happy to have something, why would you want to spoil it for them? Like, for what? On the video from my Diane bag, when I showed my Diane bag, someone left me a comment that said, you're too old for that bag. Really? Does it have, like ages 8 to 10 on it like it does on a toy? I don't get it. Like, why would I be too old for it? If I like it, and I bought it, who cares? That's your judgment that I'm too old for it. You're not paying for it. Even if you thought that, you're not paying for it. So live and let live. Godspeed, and congratulate the person. Why even get into that? And also, the person who would make a comment like that not only doesn't realize how many people in the world live in apartments, because it's not uncommon, and they don't have this mentality like a lot of people do here. But if you go to any big city in America, Chicago is extremely, extremely expensive. New York City is extremely, extremely expensive. And there's parts of Philly that are very expensive. Not as much really as some of the other ones, because we're the poorest big city in the country. But, you know, if you go to a neighborhood in Philly that's like an up-and-coming or a hipster neighborhood, you could expect to pay rent somewhere in the range of like $3,000, $2,500, and that would be for a one-bedroom. If you could afford that, I mean, good luck to you. That's really nice. So you should think that, you know, that's not okay. I don't get it. I just completely don't get it. So, you know, it doesn't hurt to be kind. It doesn't hurt to be nice. It doesn't hurt to look inside yourself before you pass judgment on someone else. And, you know, just say congratulations. Say, you know, good luck with it. I hope you enjoy. Instead of taking these really hard-seated judgments and, you know, using those and throwing them out to someone else, because it's really horrible, guys. It's just absolutely horrible. Nobody wants to feel like they're judged. Right, Tigers? Nobody wants to feel judged. Nobody wants to feel that they're inferior. And, you know, we should all be supportive of each other in the luxury community and, you know, outside of the luxury community. Just be kind. Just try to keep your own feelings and your own beliefs out of it. Re-examine what they are, and just put forth some love and understanding. So, Caleb, thank you for giving me this opportunity. You know, Caleb and Zane they're just fantastic people. They have a beautiful apartment. And, you know, if you get a chance, go over and say congratulations and say something nice. It would be really appreciated. So thank you all for watching. I have, again, a really special thing coming up on Saturday. And you're going to be seeing this outfit because I'm going to film in a few minutes. But maybe I'll throw a scarf on just so it looks like a different day. See you all soon. Say hi, Tigers. All right, Tigers knows he's got his audience. And Henry's over here grooming himself. So maybe he'll make an appearance soon, too. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.